If you're experiencing issues with rounding your low back too much in a deadlift and you can't find out why or sort of fix it, then it's probably because your pelvis is biased towards a state of expansion, which is this sacral bone tipping back into counter nutation. That's the joint action happening right here. And the pelvic bones are going to be biased towards flexion, abduction, and external rotation. Now, because of that, you're probably going to have a relatively flat back. If you look in the mirror sideways, you'll probably see you have a relatively flat back. There's not many spinal curves going on. Now, once you go into a deadlift, which requires the opposite of this, which is sacral nutation, which is flexion, counter nutation is extension, we need to go here, and the pelvic bones need to follow into extension, adduction, and internal rotation. Now, if we can't do that, then we might find flexion in the path of least resistance, which is one joint higher at the low back. So if you take this person with a flat back and this counter-nutated sacrum, and you put them in a deadlift, then they're not going to be able to get into that proper position of sacral flexion. Then what happens is they're going to find that flexion just at their low back. So something we can do to correct this is we can elevate their toes as opposed to the heels on a squat. We would want to elevate the toes so that the toes come back, which is going to give us more dorsiflexion at our ankles, which is associated with the joint actions of sacral nutation and then the extension, adduction, and internal rotation going on at the pelvis, which is going to set up our body to perform a deadlift with a neutral spine.